Previously on Unreliable.
This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take.
Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. The probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty.
Now that I look the part, I need to find that regulator, fix the ship, and save the colony.
Rank galleys with a stink of decay, stamped down under boots of the company. Slave spirit, propagate and obey. Trust up in the hog ties of industry. Live to produce and produce to consume. It's all you know now. Suffering long as you breathe in the fumes. Still here they go, selling you the sky and the stars. Always gotta push it too far. Ain't no profit in my pride. You can't put a price on me. Selling you the sky and the stars. Revenue is all that you are. Ain't no profit in my pride. You can't put a price on living free.
So, where the hell am I gonna find a power regulator? I guess I should ask around.
After the second bottle, the only pain I feel is emotional.
Oh, I almost forgot. I'm contractually obligated to recite company slogans to any visitors. You tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice.
Almost lost a finger in the cannery today.
At least you got your health.
Hey, Conrad's a surgeon. Well, he's a barber. That's like surgery, but for your hair.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Somebody's been running around town raving about a colony ship. Plague must have gone into their brain matter.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got in.
Plague got you feeling woozy? Get yourself boozy with Spacer's choice.
Well, this ain't getting me anywhere. Maybe the shopkeeper has some idea. I probably should have asked him first.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice.
I need to fix a ship. You know where I can find parts?
You ought to go have a talk with the boss, Reed Thompson. He's up in his tower above the cannery.
Take care. That does look like where an important person would be. Or at least somebody who wants to feel important.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
I'll wait till you're finished.
You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you?
We can start with introductions. I'm James Winchester.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
I don't work for Spacer's Choice.
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs. I'm looking for a power regulator.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one, and I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Frying myself?
Oh, yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
When you say mostly abandoned, what do you mean?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
I don't think these people will take kindly to losing their power.
No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
Why?
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations.
I've seen Edgewater. I don't blame those workers for walking out.
Neither do I. The fault was entirely mine. I pushed them too hard. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
All right, Reed. I'll see what I can do to help you.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Sure, I could use the company.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Let's get going.
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Figures. Reed didn't exactly strike me as the most honest soul.
Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
How well did you know the deserters? You worked with them? You were friends, or what?
I don't know anybody well. I mostly listened to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident.
Did you know this Adelaide Reed mentioned?
Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place.
You can't leave it at that. Why were Reed and Adelaide arguing?
Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her.
I can't blame anybody for wanting to leave. This town's got issues.
Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
I suppose it couldn't hurt. We'll stop by.
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
I've never been one for church. Closest I ever got to feeling spiritual was looking over my fields, seeing crops to the horizon swaying in the breeze. I wonder if the folks here get that same feeling looking at cans of fish. Or whatever they put in those cans. Probably not. Anyway, let's see what this preacher has to say.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar de Soto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
Parvati wanted to talk to you about what Reed asked us to do.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Cut off the power to Adelaide's deserters?
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
What do you think of Adelaide's group, Vicar?
They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
Depends on how well the leader can provide beyond your walls.
Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for.
So what do you advise?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Sounds like I've got my work cut out for me. Thank you for your time.
If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume.
And why is that?
One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
I assume you want to burn it once you get your hands on it.
What? No, I don't want to burn it. I would never. I mean, I just want to... Look, I have a very simple goal here. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption.
I'll need to know a little more about this book before I agree to this.
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it.
I'll look for your book.
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
All right. I'm going to get the vicar's book before I deal with Adelaide. He did his best to be helpful, and one good turn deserves another. Besides, my mom always said you should let an important decision roll around in the back of your mind for a bit. Fighting my way past a horde of marauders will certainly take my mind off things.
Whoa, 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 it's Rizzo's.
Yep, lots of marauders. Might as well get to it.
Watch out! We made it!
I just got the letter today. Corporate ordered me to relocate to the Edgewater Cannery, effective immediately. It's a shame. I was really looking forward to running my own gift shop at the community center, selling rare memorabilia. But Scripture tells us all things happen for a reason. Work fortifies the spirit and all. As for my book collection, I can't bear to part with it. Don't want those books moldering in some contraband locker, so I stashed them away in a cave over by the river. Just great. This is turning into a real wild goose chase. How many places am I going to end up going?
Better than nature.
Well, this is a nice little hidey hole. Apart from the mines, I can see why they picked it. It's downright cozy. I'll just get this book and head back to the vicar.
You're fast.
Peace, we know ours is and peace.
Any progress on that matter we discussed?
I've got your book right here.
Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn.
You didn't want that book to keep others from reading it. You just wanted it for yourself.
Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted.
Why did you think the book held secrets you were looking for?
Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
What's a philosophist?
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
A vicar searching for a banned book sets a bad example, doesn't it?
The story of my life. Most lay people are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Bakonu journal. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
Could be a beneficial arrangement. You need a ride out of town. I wouldn't mind a ship hand.
Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument really. I'm also a passable gun hand if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
That all part of your vicar training?
Well, understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my penitentiary term. Left many an opponent bleeding in the prison yard.
Are you even a vicar? 'Cause you ain't sounding very vicarly right now.
Of course. I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Then I came here. Satisfied?
Sounds good. Let's go.
Fantastic. Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
So, now I've hired the world's most timid engineer and the world's most violent vicar. On the old shows, the hero always had a wacky band of misfits. I guess I'm well on my way. But I can't put it off anymore. I need to head to those botanical labs and talk to this Adelaide lady. I can't shake the feeling that I'm working for the bad guy here. I hope this all works out.